If you're anything like me, you've probably felt that familiar overwhelm of information sometimes, especially when you're trying to understand a really dynamic professional market like Thailand and figure out, where should I really focus my branding efforts? It can feel like you're just sifting through noise. Well, today we're going to try and cut straight to the signal. This deep dive is all about exploring how professionals and businesses in Thailand strategically use their digital platforms. We're focusing specifically on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram for branding, networking, and engagement. We've pulled insights from a whole stack of sources, digital marketing agencies, research excerpts, analyses comparing these platforms, quite a bit to work with. Our mission here is to reveal not just what each platform is used for, but maybe more importantly, why it plays that specific role. And critically, how they can all fit together into a really powerful complementary strategy if you want to build a strong professional presence in Thailand.
And that's exactly the kind of nuanced understanding we want to help you get. Because the real power here, I think, isn't about just picking one platform over the others. It's about really getting the distinct value proposition, understanding the audience expectations of each one. That's absolutely crucial if you want effective communication and branding within Thailand's, well, pretty diverse digital landscape.
Okay, right. So let's start with what the research suggests is, well, the undisputed champion for professional branding in Thailand, LinkedIn. What did our sources really uncover about its unique power? Especially when you consider its user base is, quite a bit smaller than Facebook's.
Yeah, it's a classic case of quality over quantity, isn't it? And our insights consistently point to this. I mean, sure, Facebook has, what, over 51 million users in Thailand? Huge number. But LinkedIn operates with a more concentrated 6 million. But here's the thing. The quality of that smaller audience is really compelling. Reports indicate that 4 out of 5 LinkedIn members actually drive business decisions. And their audience apparently has twice the buying power of the average web audience. So for B2B engagement, it's basically a gold mine.
Wow. Okay. That's a really significant distinction. So it's not just about having a presence, it's about being on the platform where the right conversations are happening and where those high value connections are actually made. The sources pretty clearly position LinkedIn as the go to for professional networking, B2B marketing, definitely thought leadership. That seems to be where you establish yourself as an expert, sharing valuable, original insights.
Exactly. It's really unrivaled for B2B companies seeking that kind of influence. And the content you see reflects that. On LinkedIn, it's almost always centered around work, around industry topics. You see success stories, leadership insights, job opportunities, those really informative articles.
Right.
And the engagement feels different too. It's far more constructive, less casual. You'll actually find detailed discussions on, say, a new tax law or a specific marketing trend. You don't see that nearly as much elsewhere.
And for personal branding, too, it seems clear that's the place. Sharing expertise, celebrating career milestones, building credibility through that kind of focused content. Our sources also note that many Thai companies use it heavily, not just for scouting talent, which is obvious, but also for showcasing their employer brand, showing they're a desirable place to work. One agency summed it up nicely. In short, LinkedIn is where one talks business.
Yeah, and a key insight here is that clear segmentation. Despite LinkedIn's, let's say, niche penetration, maybe 9% of the population in Thailand, its strength is absolutely in that concentrated, high-value professional audience. It really makes you question if sheer quantity always equals quality, especially if your goal is B2B outreach.
Right.
And in this context, the data pretty much says no, quality wins here.
Understood. So, bottom line, if your goal is building industry authority, connecting with key decision makers, or positioning yourself as a thought leader in Thailand, the message from our sources is crystal clear. LinkedIn is your primary stage. You really have to be there. Okay, but let's pivot now. Let's talk about Facebook. Well, it's everywhere in Thailand, right? Over 51 million users, more than 71% of the population. That's massive. So given its huge reach and the fact that it's mostly used for personal stuff, updates, entertainment, news, how does that kind of platform fit into a professional branding strategy in Thailand?
Yeah, that's where it gets interesting. What the research really shows is that Facebook acts like a really wide net. Its huge reach makes it super important for businesses, especially for mass audience engagement, for community building. You see many Thai firms using it for local language updates, promotions, event photos. It's about connecting with a broad local community very directly.
Okay, so it's primarily about that broad reach, local connection, building community. But our sources also seem to highlight its limitations for, say, deep B2B thought leadership or direct client engagement. It sounds like it has fewer targeting options for specific professional criteria, suggesting it's more about employer branding and internal communications, maybe, rather than complex B2B selling. Is that fair?
That's precisely it. Your core professional identity, those really in-depth discussions, they aren't typically happening there. A common strategy we saw mentioned is that Thai firms will often repurpose content. They create something for LinkedIn,
Yeah.
then adapt it for Facebook, often translating it into Thai.
Oh,
That gives it broader exposure, right? It reaches local followers, employees who might prefer getting content in Thai on that platform. So while the really meaty professional conversations, the core thought leadership, tends to live on LinkedIn, Facebook ensures the message still gets out there locally.
that clarifies things. So, Facebook plays a crucial supporting role for professional branding, definitely more informal. Content has a shorter shelf life, apparently. And like the insight said, the signal to noise is lower. Your important post is competing with baby photos and memes. But still, it's valuable for that local presence and for running ads, given that massive reach. What was it, 77% of internet users? Huge.
Exactly. And this really underscores the importance of matching your content and your expectations to the platform's native culture. Facebook is excellent for brand awareness, for community reach, especially B2C or that local engagement, but it's just not where that deep, focused professional identity is usually built.
Right. So for you listening, think of Facebook as your community bulletin board, your amplification channel, especially if you need to reach a broad, local Thai-speaking audience or maybe handle customer service efficiently. Just, don't expect it to replace the kind of deep professional engagement you'd aim for on LinkedIn. Okay, and what about the third one, Instagram? Is it really just for pretty photos and trendy reels, or does it actually carve out a specific professional space in Thailand? It's got 18.5 million users, so it's not small and very visual.
No, Instagram in Thailand is primarily B2C and lifestyle, that's true. But it definitely has a niche role, powerful niche role actually, in employer branding and also in what some sources call networking lead. This seems particularly true among younger professionals, maybe those under 30.
Networking lead. I can sort of see that. Companies using it to showcase their culture, right? Behind the scenes office stuff, team spotlights, maybe just showing off a cool workspace aesthetic. Feels like it's about building brand personality, those trendy reels of a co-working space or fun team outings, creating a certain vibe.
Yeah, exactly that. For a brand, it's all about crafting an engaging visual story. But generally speaking, it's not the primary channel for deep thought leadership or really serious professional discourse. Engagement there is more about likes, quick comments. The content itself is often, as one source put it, a distilled, visual-heavy version of what's on LinkedIn,
Oh.
taking complex ideas and making them snackable, eye-catching.
So maybe a marketing expert posts a detailed article on LinkedIn, like 5 ways to improve productivity. Then on Instagram, it becomes a slick carousel or infographic, much simpler, more visual. And networking happens, but it sounds more informal, maybe through DMs, finding contacts, but it lacks that structured professional context you get on LinkedIn.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. An important takeaway here is that while Instagram is super visually compelling, its role in professional branding is really more about building brand affinity, humanizing your brand. It's less about establishing authority or publishing complex content and more about showing the cool factor, especially if you want to attract young talent. Make your workplace look appealing. Its audience is younger, often urban-based, highly active daily, so it's ideal for making that specific kind of cultural aspirational connection.
Got it. So if you do want to appeal to a younger, visually oriented audience, if you want to showcase your company culture, build a strong brand personality in Thailand, Instagram is your go-to for that. It's about creating that vibe that complements your more, let's say, serious professional presence elsewhere. Okay, this brings us to the big picture then. How do these three platforms, each with its own clear strengths, work together? How do you orchestrate them for a truly effective professional branding strategy in Thailand? What did our deep dive reveal about putting it all together?
I think the core deep dive insight here is recognizing that effective branding in a market like Thailand isn't about choosing one platform. It's about orchestrating a kind of three-pillar strategy. Our sources really paint a picture where each platform forms a distinct pillar. LinkedIn for that professional authority and B2B connection.
Right.
Facebook for the broad community engagement, often in Thai. And Instagram for the dynamic cultural storytelling, showing the personality. It's understanding how these interact that really unlocks the power.
That's a great framework. 3 pillars. And the research gave a fantastic real-world example, didn't it? Like a tech CEO might publish a long-form article, something deep about industry trends on LinkedIn. That's forethought leadership.
Hmm.
Then maybe post a summary of that article translated into Thai on Facebook. That's reaching the general audience, employees who prefer Facebook. And finally, maybe share a personal day-in-the-life photo or a fun team video reel on Instagram. That humanizes the brand, appeals to younger talent. Each platform plays its distinct part, but they all reinforce the same core brand message, just through different lenses.
And the engagement style on each platform really reflects these differences too. LinkedIn's algorithm tends to reward quick, relevant professional comments, and good posts can circulate for days, building momentum. Facebook and Instagram feeds, on the other hand, they move much faster. Unpaid posts seem to have a significantly shorter shelf life. You probably need to post more often just to stay visible.
That makes perfect
That's
sense. And the
right.
network itself is fundamentally different across them too, right? Your LinkedIn connections are typically work relationships, industry peers. There's a clear expectation for business content there.
Absolutely.
Whereas your Facebook friends are personal connections, and Instagram followers are often just interest-based, which means LinkedIn is often the only platform where pretty much your entire audience expects and wants to see your business content. On Facebook or Instagram, your professional posts are sort of competing with everything else.
Yeah, precisely. So from a branding perspective in Thailand, the strategy becomes really clear based on this. LinkedIn is best for thought leadership, for PR among professionals, B2B lead generation, and obviously recruiting. The sources consistently show things like, 86% of B2B marketers use it, 97% leverage it for content marketing. That really underlines its importance.
Okay, then you've got Facebook. Ideal for that broad community engagement, customer service, general B2C brand awareness, especially locally. Lots of SMEs in Thailand apparently even use it as their main digital presence. And it's great for employer branding too, sharing company news, fun posts in Thai that employees can easily share and feel connected to.
Hmm. And Instagram, as we discussed, it really excels at appealing to young talent, showcasing that cool factor of a brand. Stylish photos of the office, snippets from company events. These things can grab attention on Instagram that might eventually lead people to check out your LinkedIn or your company website. It's part of the funnel.
And what about paid advertising? Are there different advantages or things to watch out for on each platform?
Oh, absolutely. Big differences. LinkedIn's ad reach is smaller, yes, but it's incredibly targeted. You can target by industry, specific job titles, professional criteria, which is invaluable for B2B campaigns. Though the cost per click does tend to be higher.
Right, more expensive, but more precise.
Exactly. Whereas Facebook and Instagram ads, they offer just massive reach. They're generally cheaper per impression, so they're great for volume campaigns, broad awareness. But targeting professionals specifically is more indirect. You can use interests, maybe groups, but you can't reliably target by job title in the same way as LinkedIn.
So it's like precise B2B campaigns on LinkedIn versus maybe broader awareness or event promotion using Facebook and Instagram's reach.
That sums it up well. The Lexicon Thailand report actually put it perfectly. They basically said for B2B, focus on LinkedIn. Use Facebook mainly for employer branding and internal comms. And use Instagram to show the culture.
Mm-hmm.
That shows a really deep understanding of the audience context and what each platform is actually good for. It's not just about being present everywhere.
It's about being strategically present.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Recognizing where each platform adds specific value.
Let's make that really concrete. Maybe a co-working space example.
Sure. Okay, imagine a co-working space launching a new location. They might announce the details, maybe publish a blog post on future of work trends on LinkedIn. They're targeting corporate clients, maybe other business leaders there.
Okay, targeting the decision makers.
Right. Then they could post a Thai infographic summarizing those trends on Facebook. That hits local entrepreneurs, the broader community.
Reaching the wider local net.
Mm-hmm. And then to build buzz and maybe some FOMO, fear of missing out,
Yeah.
they'd share a really slick, trendy video reel of the new space's opening party on Instagram.
Creating that vibe again.
Exactly. Each platform reinforces the brand, but through a distinctly different, purpose-driven lens. It all works together.
Okay, so wrapping this up for you, our listener, We've clearly seen how LinkedIn is really your go-to for professional credibility, for those crucial B2B connections. Facebook is more your powerhouse for broad community engagement, that essential local presence, especially in Thai. And Instagram is your window, your visual showcase for brand culture, particularly good for attracting younger talent. It really isn't about choosing just one, is it? It's about
Yeah.
orchestrating them, like you said, using that three-pillar strategy for maximum impact.
Yeah, our deep dive today consistently underscores that effective professional branding, especially in a vibrant specific market like Thailand, demands this nuanced complementary approach. Understanding the distinct purpose, the audience, the content norms of each platform, that's what allows you to build a really robust, multifaceted digital presence that actually resonates.
So, this leaves us with maybe a final thought for you to consider as you go about your day. As these platforms inevitably continue to evolve, how might those lines between professional and personal keep blurring, or maybe even harden, in the digital lives of Thai professionals? And what new opportunities or perhaps challenges will that present for branding in the coming years? Something to mull over. Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive. We really hope you feel a little more well informed and ready to strategize your own approach.